Today we are going to cover the Indian physical geography through maps. So every single point that I'm going to explain to you, please note it down, make the maps yourself, practice it. West side is Guharmoti in Gujarat and the longitude is 68 degrees 7 minutes east. Myanmar 1458 kilometers and Bangladesh 4096 kilometers. Now see. Hello aspirants, welcome to PW OnlyIAS. I'm here Harpreet Singh, who's going to take you to the beautiful world of geography. Today we are going to cover the Indian physical geography through maps. Please note this very carefully. Every single diagram, every single figure, every single map has been drawn by hand. Especially for you, so that you have that confidence to draw the maps yourself and remember and recall whenever it is required during the examination. So every single point that I'm going to explain to you, please note it down, make the maps yourself, practice it. So let's begin with this beautiful journey of the Indian physical geography through maps. This is the Telegram account where you can find this particular PDF along with other material like the for anthropology optional, geography and other subjects associated with the Union Public Service examination. What are we going to do in this particular rapid revision? See, we're going to cover India, location, physiography, vegetation, soil, then the drainage system, very important. We're going to cover Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Peninsular. Important thing is, we're going to do everything using maps. Every single thing using maps. So that you can recall every single bit. Because when you read the books, you're just reading it. The important thing is that you should be able to recall. And because every single topic mentioned here is map-centric, so knowing and practicing maps becomes very, very important. Let's begin. India location. Now see, this is a map specially drawn by me for you people. Now please remember, when I talk about location, first thing that comes into our mind is with respect to latitude and longitude. Now let's see the extent first of all. If I talk about longitude, that is from the extreme western side of India to the extreme eastern side. The extreme west side is Guharmoti in Gujarat and the longitude is 68 degrees 7 minutes east. Now if I come here, you will be realizing the easternmost part is Kibuthu, that is in Arunachal Pradesh, and the longitude is 97 degrees 25 minutes east. So this is the east-west extent, right? Now come here. Please understand, if I see the northernmost part to the southernmost India mainland. Please remember, when I'm talking about India mainland, I'm not taking into consideration the islands. To be more precise, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So if I talk about mainland, that is Kanyakumari. The southernmost point is Kanyakumari, right? If I see northernmost part, please remember, you know that the issue of POK or let us say certain Pak occupied Kashmir region is there. With respect to that, if I neglect that because this complete area is India, so the northernmost point is Tash Kurgan. Whereas certain books also mention Indra Kol, while Indra Kol is this particular point, but more precisely, Tash Kurgan is a northernmost part. And if I see the latitudinal extent, the northernmost latitude touching this particular point is 37 degrees 6 minutes north, while the southernmost touching the Indian mainland is 8 degree 4 minutes north. Now the problem that arises is, sir, is this latitudinal extent the exact extent? I would say no. There's a reason behind it. If it is asked in the paper, the latitudinal extent with respect to the Indian mainland, then 8 degree 4 minutes north is correct. But overall India, please remember, the southernmost point of India is Indra Point, that is in Great Nicobar. And the latitude touching that is 6 degree 45 minutes north. So the complete expanse, if you see, is from 37 degree 6 minutes north to 6 degree 45 minutes north. Is it clear? So this is the latitudinal and the longitudinal extent of India. Let's move ahead towards the second slide. Now comes, if I want to see what is the distance from this particular point to this particular point, because this will cover the east-west distance and the north-south distance. So these points, if I join, what would be the distance? This is here. Now see here. The west to east point, the distance is 2933 kilometers, 2933 kilometers is the east-west distance of India if I touch the extreme points. If I touch the north-south extreme points, the distance is 3214 kilometers. What is the north-south distance? 3214. In the examination, they might just put a statement and say that north-south extreme point distance is lesser than the east-west expanse of India. That statement would be wrong because we know that north-south distance is more than the east-west distance. So again, this is something that is again mentioned in your NCERT also repeatedly in various classes, more specifically when you read the class 11th, the India's physical environment. So please remember these are very important concepts. Now let us move ahead. The third slide is area and length. Area and length. Now please see. If you see from this particular point to this particular point, this is the coastline. India has a huge coastline, everybody know. Now, having a huge coastline is again very important, or important from the perspective of economy, from the perspective of strategy and all. But when we are doing the perspective of Indian physical geography, what is the length becomes important. Now, please see. If I measure the distance from this whole coastline, from here, the distance is going to be 6,100 kilometers. That means the coastline of India mainland. That means I'm not including the islands here. The Indian mainland coastline distance is 6,100 kilometers. Now we all know something, that we have huge number of islands in the Andaman Nicobar, the Lakshadweep Islands and many other islands that are close to the coast. If I include their distance also, right, if I calculate, let us say there's a particular island. If I calculate this particular distance also around that particular island, the total coastline length would be 7,515 kilometers. 7,515 kilometers. If I include the islands along with this coastline, then it is this distance. Otherwise, this mainland distance is 6,100 kilometers. This is something that you should be knowing. Second thing that comes, now we have land border with many countries. We will be doing that in the next slide. But what is the exact length of this? If I start from Gujarat and passing through all the states and all the land frontier, the distance is 15,200 kilometers. What is the distance? 15,200 kilometers. In your paper, they can ask you that the land frontier length is less than the coastline length. And that time you will be confused because you might have read, but your mind does not work at that time. You should know that the coastline, if including islands, then it is 7,515, and even if excluding that, it is 6,100, which is much less than 15,200 kilometers. Now, second thing that comes is area also I have mentioned. Now see, this complete area, including the islands, what is the area? What is the area of India? 32,87,263 kilometers square. This is the area of India, including the islands. Yeah, so we have done with the area and lengths also that are associated over here. Okay, let's move ahead. Hopefully you've copied down. Please remember one thing. When I'm making the maps, when I'm drawing something over here, what has been drawn for you, please make sure that you use them, draw them, note them down. Once you have made these maps, small maps in your notebooks, you will not forget it. Please, just seeing the video is okay. It's helpful. You get to know a lot of things. But if you do not make those or practice them, it will be of no use. So please do note it down, whatever I'm telling you. Okay, let's move ahead to the next slide. Very important. You would have always heard the Indian Standard Time, right? The Indian Standard Time. Now, the Indian Standard Time has been basically adopted, which is equivalent to the longitude 82 degrees 30 minutes east. Now, this passes through Mirzapur. In the NCERT also it mentions, it might be asked in your paper also, which all states does this particular longitude basically pass? Now, please remember that it passes through Uttar Pradesh, it passes through Chhattisgarh, it passes through Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. So these are the 5 states. In the preliminary examination, this can very well be asked that the Indian Standard Time longitude passes through 3 states or 4 states, or they might mention 6 states. Please remember one more point. In your prelims, they might add one more point, Telangana. Right? They might add Telangana. Now, many would be thinking that, oh, possibly because the NCRTs are old, they might have not mentioned Telangana. Telangana would also be included because Andhra Pradesh and Telangana were one state earlier on. No. Only Andhra Pradesh, not the present day Telangana. Only these five states. Make it or note it down in your minds and note it down with your paper on the pen, whatever I'm telling you right now. Clear? So this is 82 degrees, 30 minutes east, exactly passing through Mirzapur. Clear? Okay, let's move ahead. Very interesting point that again comes, which has been indirectly or directly asked many times in various competitive examinations, which can again be asked in the Union Public Service Commission examination also. We very well know that Tropic of Cancer is basically dividing India into almost 2 halves. Now the Tropic of Cancer is 23 degrees, 5 minutes north. Now if I see over here, moving from this point till this point, you will be realizing it is cutting various states. Now this can be asked, which all states are basically cut? They would put few names and they will say only 1, only 2, or they might simply tell you that, let us say, 9 states are being cut by the Tropic of Cancer. No, 8 states. Which all those states? If you see from here, Gujarat, right? If you come here, Rajasthan, you'll be coming here, then you'll be having Madhya Pradesh, then again here, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, over here, West Bengal, and over here, Tripura. And over here is Mizoram. So these are the 8 states through which the Tropic of Cancer cuts. Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura, Rajasthan, and Mizoram. So these are all the states that you should be knowing. It is again mentioned in your NCRTs very well, and one of the probable questions that can be asked in your examination with respect to India location, because these are points which people tend to negate or neglect. And then when it comes in the examination, they say, why didn't we study this? These are very basic concepts that you should be knowing, and UPSC repeatedly picks up these points. Yeah. So these are the 8 states. Now the interesting thing is, most of you would leave this Tropic of Cancer topic over here only, right? Now if I ask you, have you opened your NCERTs and the first chapter itself, this particular Tropic of Cancer cutting these states is drawn. There's one more thing that is mentioned there. See this now. See here. Did you see that these are all the important places, or let us say the capitals of the states through which the Tropic of Cancer is passing, right? Now see here, how in the examination they might ask you. Now see, Gujarat's capital Gandhinagar, Jaipur, Bhopal, Raipur, Ranchi, Kolkata, Agartala as well. UPSC might ask you something. They will list you certain these cities and they'll ask you, which among the following cities lie above the Tropic of Cancer? Right? You will identify Jaipur by default, yes, but you will get confused among these. So only other than Jaipur, the cities which are closer to Tropic of Cancer, the ones which are above that are Agartala and Aizwal. Because we very well know that Tropic of Cancer is passing through Tripura and Mizoram, so we should be well aware these important places. These are above the Tropic of Cancer. Second thing can be asked, which particular capital or city lies exactly on the Tropic of Cancer? Then the answer is Ranchi. Ranchi. Right? So can I mention here? This is on the Tropic of Cancer. These are above Tropic of Cancer. This is again above Tropic of Cancer. By default it is known. So this question can also be asked, and this is on the Tropic of Cancer. I think if I want, I can create 3 to 4 questions right from this particular map. This map is basically drawn in your NCRTs also. This is how the questions are created by the examiners. Yeah, these might appear very like how can a teacher ask these questions in the examination? But again, these are basic questions, right? Let's move ahead. Okay, the next thing that comes is Indian neighbors. Again, a common question asked in various examinations. Now, these are your neighbors. Please make sure one thing, that for us, Kashmir is an integral part of India, whether we are talking about POK, so-called POK, but it is our part. So anything that borders POK, like Afghanistan, currently, because the LOC is over here, it is not directly in our contact, but still we very well know that this is entirely our part. So we will again consider Afghanistan as our neighbor, right? Now see, over here we see Pakistan 3310 kilometers, Afghanistan 80 kilometers, China 3917 kilometers, Nepal 1752 kilometers. Along with it, you will be realizing that Bhutan 587 kilometers. Then over here you have Myanmar, that is 1458, because you very well know this China is this part also, and this part also, right? Myanmar 1458 kilometers and Bangladesh 4096 kilometers. Now see, you would be saying, sir, this is something very common. We all know that these are the neighbors. What UPSC can ask you is they can list certain certain neighbors, like they can ask you Nepal, or let us say they can ask you, rather than asking the extreme, they can ask you Myanmar, Pakistan and Nepal. Arrange them in ascending or descending order. Now you might be knowing that Bangladesh shares the maximum length with India with respect to the neighbors, that is 4096 kilometers. But if I ask you to arrange them in order, it will be very difficult for you to remember, correct? So let's see a mnemonic which can make you remember this exactly. We don't have to know the exact kilometers in length, because that is again not necessary. But if you know the order, it will become easier. Do you want to see it? Let's see it. How to remember this order? See now. No fuzz over here, just to remember. See. BC, Pakistan, Master of Business Administration, and Nepal is a buffer state between India and Nepal, so this buffer state is Nepal. BC, Pak, N, MBA. Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, Afghanistan in the descending order. Will you remember this now? Now if they ask you arrange certain city, certain place neighbors in order, whether they do not ask you the extreme ones also, if they ask you from this also, then also you know, because you know the order. Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, Afghanistan. Clear? Note this down, mnemonic. This is very important for you. This can be asked in your paper directly, indirectly, in whatever forms they want to ask. They can ask you a direct question, or they can ask you a statement in a long set of questions or statements that are asked. They can put one statement regarding this. So please note it down. Next, very important. If a question comes, this is again taken from the NCERT, please. See, let me tell you, I have taken NCERT as my base. Then on that, whatever extra things I have to add from other standard books, I have added. So please remember, if you negate the NCERTs, that is where the problem arises. So I am trying to cover all those things that are in the NCERTs. Now see, there's a word Indian subcontinent that is present in the last page of the first chapter of your book, Class 11th Indian Physical Environment, which mentions that Indian subcontinent includes the following countries. Now see, Indian subcontinent covers only and only 5 countries. First, Pakistan. Second, India. Third, Nepal. Fourth, Bhutan. Fifth, Bangladesh. It does not cover Afghanistan. It does not include Myanmar. It does not include China. It simply includes these 5 countries. Please understand, this is a standard acceptance that these 5 countries are the part of the Indian subcontinent. One more thing, it can be asked as one of the statements in your preliminary examination. What is the exact location of India? It is mentioned in the NCERT again. India lies in the south central part of Asia. It is not, if they ask you certain points, India is in South Central Asia, India is in South Asia, India is in Southeast Asia, India is in Southeast Central Asia. Again, they are putting those points just to confuse you. The correct statement is South Central part of Asia. Clear? So you have basically understood or come across 2 types of questions that can be asked over here. One, what is the Indian subcontinent? Which among the countries? They can ask you, the Indian subcontinent comprises 3 countries. Or they can ask, intentionally put, it comprises 6 countries. They can then put Maldives also. Then you will say, yes, Maldives is possibly the part of Indian subcontinent only. Yes, yes, yes. You will mark it if you do not study well. That is why only 5 countries over here. Clear? Let's move ahead. This was the part of the Indian location aspect. Most of the things are covered here. Please note each and everything that has been done. Brief notes on this along with the maps will suffice with respect to any location question that is asked. Right? Okay. Next is Indian structure and physiography. Right? If I divide India and see the physical divisions, I'll come across various divisions. First is the northern and northeastern mountains, right? The northern and the northeastern mountains. Second, the northern plains or the great plains of the north, as we talk about. Third, the Thar Desert. Fourth, the Peninsular Plateau. Fifth, the coastal plains. Certain books also mention islands. So if you want, it is absolutely fine. You can mention as certain islands mentioned here. That can be mentioned as, let us say, islands also. We have covered them also, right? So islands, right? So these are the major divisions. Now we'll be seeing each and every division properly. Please again note it down. Every single thing is being done by map. If you do it as I'm telling you, you will not forget anything. Clear? Let's move ahead. If I see the first topic that I'm taking is northern and northeastern mountains, right? In a consolidated manner, these and these part, right? So northern and northeastern mountains, if I see them, they can be basically put into various categories or various divisions if we see. First, the Trans-Himalayas, then the Greater Himalayas, the Lesser Himalayas, the Shivaliks, and the Purvanchal ranges at the northeastern part, right? Let us see each one. We are not going to here do theories of all these things. We're just going to see maps and understand them so that you recall and remember them, right? Okay. Trans-Himalayas. The first thing that I'm taking is Trans-Himalayas. So first thing that comes into your mind is that you should draw the map first of all. I'm not using the complete India map. Why? Because we have to focus on this particular part, right? So step 1, as I'm telling you, draw the map, right? Pause the video, draw the map. This is how you will learn. So this is again the northern part, the jewel of the country, the Jammu and Kashmir region and the Ladakh region. Draw the map. Next slide comes the Trans-Himalayans, right? So we will see firstly what all are basically comprising the Trans-Himalayas, right? Let's see that. First, the Karakoram range. This is what? The Karakoram range. Now please understand, I mentioned certain details also. It is located in the Gilgit-Baltistan and the Ladakh region. We very well know this is the Gilgit-Baltistan region and this is the Ladakh region. It is approximately 500 kilometers in length. 28 to 50% is glaciated. So that means there are glaciers present, snow cover is there. Average height is 6,500 meters. Clear? So this is something that you need to know about Karakoram. We'll be seeing the mountain peaks also in the next slide on them. First, let us see one by one. What I'm telling you, see, when I draw this, next slide would be the peaks on these particular mountains. So one by one, we will do it so that you are able to learn them also, right? Below the Karakoram comes the Ladakh range. The average height is less than equal to, again, 6,000 meters. Clear? Now, below the Ladakh range are the Zaskar range with an average height of close to, again, 6,000 meters. If you move a little bit outside, you have again another part that is the Kailash range. Now, Kailash range is again rugged, southwest Tibet region, average height of 5,500 meters to 6,000 meters. And we very well know that Mount Kailash is over here. Very sacred. And from the perspective of the Hindu religious belief system and abode of Lord Shiva also over here. So we'll be seeing that Mount Kailash also. So first thing what you have to do is pause the video. All of you draw them properly. So the Trans-Himalayas comprises the Karakoram. The Trans-Himalayas comprises the Karakoram, the Ladakh range, the Kailash range, and the Zaskar range. Clear? So these are the 4 components or the 4 ranges that are included in the Trans-Himalayas. Now let's move on to the next slide. Now see, because you have already noted it down, so I will, in the next slide, I'm not going to put all these details because you've already noted down, right? Let's move ahead. Now, we all know this is Karakoram, this is Ladakh, this is Zaskan, this is Kailash. Now let us see the important peaks that are associated with these particular mountain ranges. If I see in the Kailash range, important peak is Mount Kailash over here with 6638 meters height. If I see the Zaskar range, an important peak over is Nunkun Peak, 7135 meters. Next, if I see the Karakoram range, you will be seeing that over here, Gasher Brahm, 8068 meters. Then you have K2, again alternative mean, a name being Mount Godwin Austen, 8611 meters. Then if you further move towards the western side, then there is the Stalsar, 7885 kilometers, sorry, meters, not kilometers, meters. And again, on the left of this peak is Broad Peak, 8047 meters. Right? These are the important peaks. Why? Repeatedly in the examination, these peaks have been asked in various UPSC examinations, not only civil services, CAPF examinations and other examinations. And again, those topics are repeated and picked up. They might ask you, right, which among the following peaks are located. Let us say they might ask you name of a particular peak or hill, and they might ask you it is located in the Karakoram range, Ladakh range, Zaskar range, or the Kailash mountains or range. If you do not know, then you will mark it wrong. So please, these are the important things you should be knowing, right? So these were the Trans-Himalayas and the peaks. So what we have done, we have seen the Trans-Himalayas, their representation, a description about them, and along with the important peaks that are associated with the Trans-Himalayas, right? Let's move ahead now. Let us come to the Great Himalayas. The Great Himalayas are also named by another alternative name, Himadri. They are also known as Inner Himalayas. So the term Great Himalayas has two alternative names, Himadri and the Inner Himalayas. Now these 3 points are generic characteristics of this particular complete range, right? Average width is, now what do you mean by width? Please understand. This is the length from Nanga Parbat till Namcha Barwa. So this is the two extremes in a way. The length is 2400 kilometers. Clear? Approximate length is 2400 kilometers. Average height is 6100 meters. And average width. Now what is width? From this distance to this. This is the width. Right? This is the width. Now this width is 25 kilometers approximately, or they have taken the average. There will be certain places they will be wide, certain places not so wide. So this is the average. Now see, the Great Himalayas, from one side, from the Kashmir region to, let us say, the Arunachal Pradesh and Namcha Barwa. So these are the two extremes. One extreme is Namcha Barwa and next is Nanga Parbat, 8126 meters. Now within this particular Great Himalayas, there are important hill or ranges that are associated with that. Now see, you very well know important being Badrinath, Nanda Devi, both of them are in Uttarakhand. If you go to the Nepal Himalayas, you will be seeing certain very important peaks over here. First, Dhaulagiri, next Annapurna. Dhaulagiri, towards its right is Annapurna. First, now further you keep on moving towards the east. You have this peak being Gauri Shankar. Next is Mount Everest. Next is Makalu. Now, if you want to remember it, there is a mnemonic also, the gem. The gem. How? Dhaulagiri, Annapurna, Gauri Shankar, Everest and Makalu. So this is a way of remembering these. So if you remember this order, if they, in the examination they might ask you arrange the peaks from east to west or west to east. If you know the order, then there is no issue at all. Next is Kanchenjunga. Again, it is in the Sikkim part of the Greater Himalayas or Great Himalayas. And next is the Namcha Barwa, again in the region over there. Clear? So this is the Great Himalayas, Himadri or the Inner Himalayas. You should please note it down because these many questions can be asked just from this particular slide. Clear? Clear? Okay, let's move ahead. Next is below the Great Himalayas are the Middle Himalayas, right? Which are also known as, let us say, the Lesser Himalayas, the Lower Himalayas, and the Middle Himalayas. Please remember, there is always a confusion among the people. When they hear the word Lower Himalayas, they assume that it is Shivaliks. No, no. Lesser or Lower Himalayas, please remember, Lesser, Lower, and Middle Himalayas are one and the same thing. Alternative word is Himachal, right? When we saw the word Himadri over here for the Great Himalayas, Himachal overall is a word for the Middle Himalayas. Now see here. Again, just below the Great Himalayas lie the Middle Himalayas. Now see, it is something divided into various ranges. If you see the extreme side, this is known as the Purvanchal range of the Lesser or the Lower Himalayas. The Purvanchal range is approximately 300 to 400 kilometers with an average height of 1400 to 400 meters. So this is here. Clear? It should be 4000 meters. Okay. Next over here is Dhauladhar. Now this is again in the part of, let us say, parts of Himachal Pradesh. Next is Nagatibba, and then is Mussoorie range. And again, some books also mention about this part as a Kumaon Himalayas also. Again, depends upon certain books, they might mention it. Mussoorie range being present in the Garhwal region of Himalayas and Kumaon Himalayas. Doesn't matter, little bit variations work in various books. So Purvanchal, Dhauladhar, Nagatibba, Mussoorie, and the Kumaon Himalayas. This is again the parts of the Lesser or the Lower Himalayas. With this extending towards the Nepal part of the Lower, Lesser, or the Middle Himalayas is known as the Mahabharat range. What is it known as? Mahabharat range. Clear? Please understand, these are various parts of this particular Himalayas only. Now, when this is extending towards the northeastern part, please understand, it is again named or known by various names. This is known as the Dafla Hills. This is known as Miri Hills, M-I-R-I Hills, Abhor Hills, A-B-O-R, and Mishmi Hills. Very interesting factor, please, you should remember. Me teaching again anthropology optional also, so this is something very important for you to understand. Let me make it very clear to you. See here. These all are names of the hills, let us say the ranges. Along with that, please remember, these are also the names of the tribes. Now you will be having Dafla, Miri, Mishmi, Abhor tribes residing here. So they have the tribes of the same name. So these names of the ranges or hills, tribes. And the interesting part is the name of their languages are also the same. Speaking Mishmi language, Dafla language, or Miri language, and the language. So the interesting part over here is that all these are again hills or ranges, as you say. There are various tribes with the same name over here, and they speak a language which is also named same. Yeah. So this is again very important from the socio-cultural perspective that you can just add to your point when you are noting it down. So this is the Lesser or the Lower Himalayas when we are doing the physiographic divisions. Let's move. Now below the Lesser Himalayas or the Middle Himalayas, we have the Shivaliks. Now the Shivaliks are also known as the Outer Himalayas or the Sub-Himalayas. Now this is this is one of those range which lacks basically structural continuity. It is broken and it does not extend to the extreme parts of the northeastern region also. So it is again a discontinuous, lacking structural unity and integrity. So length is again approximately less than 2,400 kilometers, much less than 2,400 kilometers. Width is 45 kilometers west to 8 kilometers east. It is a non-continuous range. Now if you see over here, you will be seeing this is complete red part is a Shivalik. Interestingly, if you read the NCERT also, though it is known as Shivalik, in the region of Uttarakhand and all, you will be seeing it has been given two names also over here. This is Dhang range, again a part of Shivalik, And Dundwa range, again a part of the Shivalik. Clear? A little bit knowledge you should be having. Again, Dhang range and Dundwa range, it can be asked as a part of which part of the Himalayas. At that time, you will be getting confused. That is why it is important that you should remember it is a part of the Shivalik or the outer Himalayas. Clear? Hopefully you have noted it down. If you want to pause it, note it down, make a diagram, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Okay, so we have done with this particular part. Now we will move on to the eastern part. Again, as we had seen Purvanchal or the northeastern ranges. See, this is again the same part of the map which I have zoomed. Again, did you see? This is the part. I have zoomed it over here. Now please see. This part over here is again extension of the Himalayas only. This range again is known as a Patkai Bum. Below the Patkai Bum in the Nagaland region is a Naga Hills. Naga Hills has a very important peak. It is known as Saramati peak that is 3,826 meters. It can be asked in your papers. It is located in which hills? It will ask you Patkai Bum, Manipur, Mizo Hills, Lushai Hills. So it is basically located on the Naga Hills. Below the Naga Hills, you have the Manipuri Hills, again in the state of Manipur. As you move ahead in the Mizoram region, you will be having the Mizo Hills. Below the Mizo Hill, an extension of the Mizo Hill are the Lushai Hills. In the region where the Lushai Hills are located, there is a very important mountain, Blue Mountain. And in these Lushai Hills are the Lushai tribes that are present over here. So this is again very important. So the Lushai tribes basically residing in the Lushai Hill region. And over here, there's a very important peak that is the Blue Mountain in the Lushai Hill region. Clear? If you move a little bit towards Tripura, you have the Tripura Hills. Now, it is very, very, very important for you to understand one thing. When we talk about the Purvanchal Himalayas or the Northeastern Himalayas, all these are considered a part of the Purvanchal or Northeastern Himalayas. But now you will be seeing the northeastern part. We have other peaks also like Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, Mikhil and all those. Aren't these a part of the Purvanchal Himalayas? No. Please understand, when you study the way that when there was a collision of the Indian plate with the Eurasian plate, you will be seeing the evidence also. If you see the geological evidences also, we can see these are again a part of the Himalayan ranges. It is fine extension of that. But this particular part is basically a part of the Peninsular Plateau, right? This is known as a Malda Gap. The Bangladesh region is a Malda Gap, and this is an extension of the Peninsular Plateau. So please note it down very, very, very carefully what I'm telling you right now. Please understand this. Not a part of the Himalayas, but a part of Peninsular Plateau. So please remember, I'm doing this over here only because when you saw the Meghalaya Plateau or the Mikhir upland region, so this is, we are doing in advance only. Over here you have the Garo Hills, the Khasi and the Jaintia. Again a very important thing. These three places, again the ranges, hills over here are basically people of the similar tribes are staying here. Garo tribes, Khasi tribes, Jaintia tribes. Again a very interesting part with respect to culture is that again Khasi and Jaintia in particular are matriarchal in nature. Matriarchal in nature, that means domination is from the side of the mother, the female side. Even Garos also, if you see, a similar matriarchal nature is seen, though changes have taken place, but predominantly in Khasis and to great extent in Jaintia also you see the matriarchal nature of the families. Again with this, there is an extension. This is known as the Mikhir Hills, then a Rengma, R-E-G-M-A, Rigma Hills and Braille Hills. So this is whole of these part is a part of the Peninsular Plateau, not the part of your Purvanchal. Clear? Let's move ahead. Next is the Northern Plains. Very interesting plain. Again, you should be knowing that. First is Rajasthan. Now, if you see the regional divisions, just a minute. Yeah. If you see the regional divisions, Rajasthan plain, Punjab plain, Ganga plain and Brahmaputra plain. Very well, the name itself suggests what it is associated with. The Ganga plain is further divided into three parts: the upper, middle, and the lower. When we'll be doing the drainage system, you'll be better understanding also what all the rivers are basically draining these part. Over here, we are not going to put the rivers as such because you're going to already cover in the drainage system. We're just going to show you certain pictures and capture or imagine the view what it basically is. Clear? Let's move ahead. If you see the northern plains over here, this basically are the Punjab plains, right? The Punjab plains again drained by the Panjnad or the rivers. Now the word Punjab comes from that. Now this is the Rajasthan plain. Now please understand that if you go to this side, this is again the desert part, right? So extreme climate, again arid soil and all those characteristics come. This is a region that relatively you would say on the eastern side of the Aravallis. So over here, Rajasthan plain. This part is the upper Ganga plain. This is that part which basically benefited from the green revolution part, right? So that is why you will be realizing the per capita income of the people residing in these places increased tremendously. They became big landlords, right? Because of the irrigation facilities that were available. Then is the middle Ganga plain. Then comes the lower Ganga plain, again associated with Ganga and its tributaries. And this is the Brahmaputra plain because it is drained by Brahmaputra and its various tributaries. That is why predominantly covers the region of Assam along with the other states also. Obviously, this is the Brahmaputra. Now this is a representation of the northern plain to you. Clear? Now let's move ahead. First, Punjab plain. A few dimensions or characteristics you should be knowing. Now the Punjab plain covers 1.75 lakh kilometers squares, drained by 5 rivers. From west to east is about 300 kilometers, and from northeast to southwest 650 kilometers, right? Certain dimensions have been mentioned. Separated by the Ganga plain by the Delhi ridge, right? Please understand, when you go to Delhi, you will be realizing, if you must have heard Rai Sena Hills where the Rashtrapati Bhavan is located, or if you go to old Rajendra Nagar also, you'll be seeing there are certain ridges are present, Central Ridge and all. Students, please remember, these are basically the extension of the Aravallis. Right, I will be studying Aravallis also. Aravallis basically are extension from the Gujarat till the Delhi ridge. So this basically Delhi region is basically, this is the part where Delhi ridge separates it from the Ganga plain, right? The Punjab plain is separated from the Ganga plain by the Delhi ridge. Okay. The Rajasthan plain, now Rajasthan plain is again drained by seasonal rivers when there is rainfall. Otherwise there is no proper or let me say continuous supply of water. That is why we say seasonally it is fine, but otherwise it is not so fertile also. Yeah, if you compare it with the regions of Punjab plain or the upper Ganga plain, which is continuously drained by rivers, which are perennial in nature, or let us say continuously, because the supply of water comes from the glaciers, right? So Rajasthan plain drained by the seasonal rivers, Punjab plain. Okay, let's move ahead. Firstly, then comes the upper Ganga plain and the middle Ganga plain and the lower Ganga plain. The upper Ganga plain is 132,000 square kilometers. This was a region which is famously known for the green revolution, right, which majorly benefited from it. If you see the middle Ganga plain, it is 1.44 lakh kilometers square. And if you come to the lower Ganga plain, again 81,000 square kilometers. This can even be asked in your paper with respect to the sizes. If you see here, the largest size is by the middle Ganga plain. Next, lower than that is the upper Ganga plain, and the smallest is the lower Ganga plain. The upper Ganga plain being 1.32, this is 1.44 lakh, that is 81,000. This can also be asked in your examination. Clear? So this is the Ganga plain. Now coming to the other part, that is the Brahmaputra plain. Now see, the Brahmaputra plain is 56,000 kilometers square. It is 720 kilometers in long and 80 kilometers wide. It is a depositional plain. Right, so it is a depositional plain. Lot of islands between the rivers are present here, like Majoli and all are present there, right? Because lot of sediment is brought by the Brahmaputra river, and because immediately when there is the slope decreases, automatically large deposition takes place. So large depositions takes place, and between this Brahmaputra river that is going on, within the Brahmaputra river only many river islands are found. So that is why a very important plain over here is a Brahmaputra plain, right? Let's move ahead. Now see, one thing that you have done right now is the northern plain division that you saw was a regional division. That means area-wise division. Like see here, this is regional division. If you see here, I have already written it over here, regional division. Because area-wise, if you see, This is this part, this part, this part, this part, this part. So it is basically a division of the area. That is why it is known as a regional division. There is one more criteria through which division can take place. That is the physical division. What? The physical division. So the physical division includes the Bhabar, the Tarai, Khadar and the Bhangar. These words again you would be familiar with that. Let us see from a diagrammatic point of view again. Please understand. Once you use the diagrams and maps, you would have seen till now that you do not forget things. Right? So let's see. Okay, students. If I divide or see the classification of the northern plains on the basis of the physical division, you'll be seeing something. Let us say these are the Himalayas. Let us say, imaginally, let us say these are the Shivaliks. Just next to the Shivaliks, the plain region that is there, this is known as Bhabar. Now remember one thing. This is not those parts which will have very fine silt or fine silt or soil present there. No, it's going to have a lot of cobbles, boulders that are going to be there. So what happens is, please understand, any river that is coming from these mountains and peak, rather than flowing on over these regions, because now these are going to be very cobbler or boulder like plains that are there. So what will happen? The water basically will seep down. The water seeps down. So it does not basically flow over them, but underneath them. Right? So why? Please understand, Bhabar it is located in the foothills of the Shivaliks, ranging from Indus till Tista, 8 to 6 kilometer wide, and highly porous, and stream disappear and flow underground. Please understand, I am showing you the lateral view. If you see from this perspective, supposedly these are, let us go to the Himalayan ranges. Let's see. Let us say these are the Shivaliks. Just below the Shivaliks are going to be what? The Bhabar. Below the Bhabar, again the subsequent divisions will be there. Clear? Clear? So please understand this. It is basically when we are saying extending till Tista. So this is the division. I am giving you a lateral view or the side view. So see. This is what? Bhabar. Next to Bhabar is the Tarai region. Now, south of Bhabar lies the Tarai. It is 50 to 30 kilometers wide. Streams again, because it is more finer, again tend to reappear or move on the surface. Now, this region has been again, though it is very swampy region, mosquito infested region, but we realize that because of the expertise of the farmers in India also, it has been basically converted into agricultural land. Like if you see in the region of Uttarakhand also, if you go to Udham Singh Nagar region, it was majorly a Tarai region. Now it has been converted into and made fit for agriculture by the efforts of the farmers. So this is again one region. Now please understand, we very well know as the river flows, as it keeps on moving down course, lot of collisions, breaking of the boulders, and those boulders or cobbles become more finer and finer, right? They become more finer, more thin. So that in a way alluvium is deposited. Clear? Now see one thing. When a river is flowing, when the river flows, fresh alluvial deposits are deposited next to the river banks. These red color are the fresh alluvial that is deposited by the river. The fresh alluvial deposited is known as Khadar. And you will be realizing earlier on, let us say during flood happens, or let us say the river shifting of the river courses happens. This is the river. Older alluvium might have been deposited earlier in certain regions. So these regions represent Bhangar, which is older alluvial. Less, or we would say less fertile, obviously because it is old, while Khadar is fresh alluvium, so it is more fertile. Now if I see, see over here. Just a minute. Let's see over here again. If I am seeing this part, you will be realizing if Shivaliks rise here, so we know that very well. This will be what? A Tirai, this will be Bhabar region. Bhangar region. Now please understand this. Just a minute. Bhabar region. Then you have over here Tirai region. Then obviously similarly you have the Khadar and the Bhangar region also. So it is just similarly, if you see from this part to this Tista part, this division has taken place. Now let us come here again. This is a side view. From the side, if you see the Shivaliks, you have the Bhabar, you have the Tarai, then you have Bahagar, that is the older alluvial, and then you have the fresh alluvial that is close to the water resource or the river that is flowing. Clear? So now this is the northern plains based on the physical divisions. Let's move ahead. Peninsular Plateau. Very, very important Peninsular Plateau. Now, Peninsular Plateau is basically one of the largest divisions of the country, if you see. It covers 16 lakh square kilometers. General elevation is 600 to 900 meters. Bounded by Aravallis in the northwest. This is again where its boundary lies, right? So it is bounded by Aravallis in the northwestern region. We'll be seeing all that, don't worry about that. Aravallis in the northwestern region, Hazaribagh and Rajmahal in the northeastern region, Meghalaya Range in the north, and eastern and west Ghats again on the other sides. Clear? So this is how the Peninsular Plateau is basically bounded. And over here we see cover 16 lakhs kilometers, average elevation 600 to 900 meters. That is approximate and average, might be varying also. So let us see what the Peninsular Plateau comprises. Okay, it comprises the Central Highlands, the Chota Nagpur Plateau, the Deccan Plateau, the Meghalayan Mikhir Hublands. Please remember, we have already done this part. We have already done this part when we were doing the Purvanchal. We very well told you that time also that Purvanchal basically Himalayas comprises the Patkai, Bam, Naga, Mizo type hills. On the other hand, the Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, Mikhar, Rengma are not a part of the Himalayas but a part of the Peninsular Plateau. So this part is already done, right? Then you have the eastern and the western Ghats. Everything will be shown to you in the form of maps and diagrams, right? Let's move ahead. Now see, just to begin simply, we have begun with Central Highlands, right? Central Highlands. Now your Central Highlands are basically going to have the Aravallis, it is going to have the Bundelkhand, Malwa and Baghelkhand, right? So just slowly one by one we are going to move ahead. As I'm drawing, please understand, I'm not putting everything on one map together because then you will be having problems in understanding, comprehending and noting it down. So within this map, what I will do is in the next map, rather than having the description, I'll just put Aravallis and then other things I'll be describing. Yeah? So this will help you to make the features along with me as I am drawing or making, right? Okay. The Aravallis. Now you very well know these are the old fold mountains. Now please understand there are a lot of interpretations if you see. Various famous geographers, J.D. Dana and all, they have basically given various views also. They say that basically this Aravallis extend from the Gujarat region and extend till Delhi ridge and even to the Hardwar ridge. If you go to Hardwar, you'll be seeing a ridge. If you're going by train, you'll be seeing that, right? So it basically is one view. Then one view is it basically extends even to the Arabian Sea also. Initially it used to extend, though it has got eroded. But overall, whatever be the view, it basically extends from the Gujarat region till the Delhi ridge region is something which is accepted by the NCERT also and by the various geographers also with respect to the civil services examination. Now, old fold mountains, or we can say the oldest mountain ranges in India. Among the world also, if you see, one of the oldest. From northeast to southwest, 800 kilometers. Old fold mountains, average elevation is 600 to 900 meters. Very interesting factor is that being so old, millions and millions of years old, still it is 600 to 900 meters. Now we can imagine one thing, that when they were formed, they would have been huge, right? It is because of the erosion. One more thing becomes important when you will be doing, or when I'll be covering for that matter, let us say the environmental part also. You'll be realizing that ecological and environmental significance of Aravallis is very, very important, which is basically being lost because of rapid mining activities that are going on. Even if you ever go from Delhi to Gurgaon region, you will be seeing Gurgaon also has the extensions of the parts of the Aravallis. Those mountain ranges or the remnants of that are basically been broken down and large infrastructure projects are being developed. So now please understand these do influence the ecological relationships of the region. Along with it, it definitely influences the climatic factor in aspects also. So this is something that you should be knowing. Again, an important peak is Guru Shikhar, 1722 meters is located over here. Clear? So we have done with Aravallis. Now let us move on to the other aspects. See here. If I, just a minute, if I see the next thing that lies is Aravali's. Now over here, next to the Aravali's over here is the Malwa Plateau. On the, let us say the north eastern part is the Bundelkhand Plateau. The Bundelkhand Plateau. And if you see over here lies the Baghelkhand Plateau. And here is the Malwa Plateau. Below them is your Vindhyan Range. Please understand this, very, very important. Vindhyan Range. Extension of the Vindhyan are the Banrer Range, and further extension are the Kaimur Range. Various books do not mention Banrer Range because they neglect it, but please note it down. It is very important. In various standard books it has been given. Beyond the Vindhyan Range lies the Banrer, and beyond that lies the Kaimur. Many people just mention Vindhyan and then the Kaimur, so that would be wrong. Clear? So this is just a representation. Make this figure, then we will be studying all of them also in brief. Right? What we have done, Aravali's. Now this is basically the central highland part, which covers Aravali, the Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. Right? This is separate, though this is the central highland part. Now see, you have noted down, I guess, Aravali's, Malwa, Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand, and below that are your Vindhyan Range. Then you have extension is Banrer, Banrer. Then further extension is the Kaimur Range, right? Now let's move ahead. Let's see. If I see the Malwa Plateau, important thing is this is that particular region where you see the Chambal River flowing, its various tributaries flowing, and the Chambal ravines being there, right? So important thing is Chambal ravine. Along with it, another important factor that lies over here is that it has black soil. Black soil region is present here. Next important thing is height decreases from south to north. Do you realize this? When you see the Chambal River, it basically joins the Yamuna River. It is basically flowing from this direction, in this direction. Yes or no? That means it is flowing from south to north. So that means the height would be decreasing in that manner. That is why Chambal is able to join Yamuna. Yes or no? This is something very important. Many people, if the question comes in the examination that when we see the Malwa Plateau, the height will decrease from north to south. Many people will say yes. But use your common sense. It decreases from south towards north. So it is like this. This is the, supposingly this is the southern part, this is the northern part. That is why Chambal River is flowing like this and joining the Yamuna River. Yeah? Next. You have written this? Now let's move on to the next part. Next slide. Bundelkhand Plateau. Now Bundelkhand Plateau becomes very important over here is because large number of rivers flow in this particular region. Yamuna River in the north. Please understand. Yamuna River is in the north part of this. Then you have the Vindhyan Range in the south, Chambal River in the northwest part, and the average height is 300 to 600 meters. This is something, Bundelkhand, just a minute, D is missing here. Bundelkhand, right? Okay, Bundelkhand Plateau. Baghelkhand Plateau again next to this, 500 to 1200 meters is the height. Now please understand. The Vindhyan Range over here extends from Jobat in Gujarat to even to the Sasaram in the region of Bihar. Though in remnant forms, the remaining parts is present. Originally, it was a long range, though it has been subject to erosions and all. So we basically see in the broken parts. That is why we say these were certain. Earlier they were joined only, but these are now separated through various erosional activities that are taking place. So Vindhyan Range, Barhe Range and Kaimur Range, though completely if you see it extends from Jorhat to Sasaram. Average height is 450 to 600 meters. The length is 1050 kilometers. Clear? 1050 kilometers. These are certain points again when you're writing your answers also. The general studies or for your preliminary examination are very important. If you understand that, I'm telling you the complete book of the India's physical environment is already done if you do them properly. It is basically, what is that book? That basically book is describing all these things only. The only thing you do is you just read it. And that is why when the locations are mentioned, when the height is mentioned, why do you not recall it? The reason behind not recalling is that you tend to see the map study very differently from the study of the text. The important thing is you should have a map along with it, then you study, you will never forget it. That is what we are doing over here. Yeah, so okay, let's move ahead. Now see, we have covered what? The central highland part, right? Now we are moving on to the other part, that is the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Did you see over here the part was central highlands done? Now let's move on to the Chota Nagpur Plateau region. Okay, chaliye. Okay, this part, see, I have not removed this, I have just shifted the demarcation because we've already done this. This is the central highland part. Now comes the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Now see, first we will just see it over here, right? Let me give you an enlarged view. See over here, right? Chota Nagpur Plateau, right? I have drawn this and the associated ranges and hills associated with it. Now let me enlarge it, right? Enlarging it, this is the Chota Nagpur Plateau region. Towards the north and western part as the Hazaribagh range over here. The Hazaribagh range over here. Towards the northeastern part are the Rajmahal hills. This is the Rajmahal hills, right? Now if you move down, you will be seeing the Ranchi Plateau being here. And just on the western side of the Ranchi Plateau lies the Garjat Hills. Garjat Hills, right? Now please understand, because we are doing the Chota Nagpur Plateau, it is very important here. The average elevation of Chota Nagpur Plateau is approximately 1100 meters. Rivers like North Koel, Damodar, Barakar, Subnarekha, all these flow through the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Clear? All these rivers flow through the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Clear, everybody? Let's move ahead. So this is the Chota Nagpur Plateau we have covered. Now please understand, again, we have done the central highland part. You realize this? This was the central highland, right? This part we have done is Chota Nagpur Plateau part, right? Now moving down and covering the other parts. Below the Vindhyan range lies the Satpura range. Below the Vindhyan range lies this, what? Satpura range. Next to the Satpura range are the Mahadev Hills range. Next is the Maikala range. This is the Satpura range. Next is the Mahadev range. And next is the Maikala range. Understood? Satpura, Mahadev and Mahikala range. These are something that you should be knowing because this is very important. It can be asked. Mahadev Hills lies next to the Satpura or the Vindhyan range, or arrange them from, let us say, west to the east. These are the things that are asked. When you do not know them, then you miss it. That is why we tell you, do it in a map-based study. You will never forget it. So, Satpura, Mahadev and Mahikala. Clear? Let's move ahead a little bit. Let's move ahead. Now, what I have done is I have covered this part, right? Now, let me cover the part of the eastern part, this part, western part. The western part now has, see over here. This particular region is known as the Gir Hills. What? Gir Hills, right? This particular hill is known as the Kutch Hills. This particular hills is known as the Mandav Hills. M-A-N-D-A-V. Mandav Hills. Clear? So we have done the western part of the Gujarat part also. Clear? So Gir Hills, Kutch Hills, Mandav Hills. Clear? Now, if you have noted it down, please note it down quickly. So we have done the central highlands, Chota Nagpur Plateau region, then we are covering the other parts also. Clear? Okay, let's move ahead. Now see, now you'll be realizing that there are if we start covering the aspects of, let us say, the Western Ghats and all, there are various ranges that are protruding out from the Western Ghats, right? So we in a way will be covering the Western Ghats along with it. So let us see certain important ranges that are associated with it. Clear? Now see, below the Satpura range and all, you have this part, this is known as the Satmala range. On the right of Satmala are the Ajanta range. If you see the extension of the Satmala range are the Nirmal range. Below the Nirmal range are this range that is extending here. This is known as the Bala Ghat range. And on the western side over here is the Harish Chandra range. The Harish Chandra range. Clear? The Harish Chandra range. This is the part. Why I have not removed it, please understand, because you have made your maps. All these parts are made, so you will be adding to it. So I am doing in a process, one by one way, so that you learn it. Clear? So we have done all these parts. Labeling has been done. So next is, this is Satmala. Next to it is Ajanta. Below that is the extension of the Satmala is the Nirmal range. Below Nirmal range and the Satmala is your Balaghat range, and below that is the Harish Chandra range. Clear? Harish Chandra range. Okay, let's move ahead. Over here, when we were covering these particular places, right, two important peaks, two very important peaks lie over here. This can be asked in your examination also. Kal Subhai and Mahabaleshwar, right? Just mark it. Kal Subhai and Mahabaleshwar. Just mark them quickly. Very important. Two very important peaks that you should be knowing. Clear? Kal Subhai and Mahabaleshwar. Clear? Done? Okay. So having done this, so many parts, now we'll be moving on to the little bit other parts. Please understand, this particular part, a part of the Peninsular Plateau, is known as a North Deccan on the Deccan Plateau, which is basically covering the majorly the Maharashtra region. Obviously the other parts also. Below the Maharashtra Plateau, on this side lies your Telangana Plateau, the region of Telangana. On the west of the Telangana, again you see the part of Karnataka, you will be seeing the Medan region of the Medan region. And then on this part, on the west of it is the Malnad region. And below that is the Dhadwar. Over here, a lot of ancient rock structures and all are formed here. So these are certain plateaus that you should be marking, you should be knowing. Clear? Deccan part, then the Telangana, Medan, Malnad, these are the part of the Karnataka Plateau, right? Karnataka Plateau. Let's move ahead. Now please understand, when we had seen the projections of the various ranges also, now there is a lot of these extension, these parts are known as the Western Ghats. Among the Western Ghats you'll be seeing, we have covered the ranges over here. We see certain other extensions of the Western Ghats. This is known as the Nilgiri, this is known as the Annamalai, and the southern part is the Cardamom Hills. All these part, this range, just a minute, are basically the Western Ghats part, right? Now see, the Western Ghats, if you see, from the Tapi to Kanyakumari, length of 1600 kilometers, height 900 to 1100, width 50 to 80, and 6 states are covered here. 6 states, right from Gujarat till you would be seeing Tamil Nadu. So all these states, if you see, 6 states, it's spread over 6 states. Clear? The Western Ghats. Now see the Eastern Ghats. Now Eastern Ghats, unlike the Western Ghats, lack continuity. So it is basically comprising a lot of various ranges. The reason behind it is because a lot of rivers basically cut them, because they move from the aspect of west to east. So they're cutting through a lot of ranges also. That is why you see the structural integrity or unity of the Eastern Ghats lack. Now see, let's see the overall aspect. Overall, if you see, from Odisha till the Nilgiri Hills over here, basically Nilgiri Hills are the linking point of the Western and the Eastern Ghats. So it is extending from Odisha till the Nilgiris over here. So Odisha to Nilgiris, the length is 1700 kilometers, height is 600, lacks structural integrity, width is 100 to 200 kilometers. You'll be seeing that the width over here is they are much wider than the Western Ghats. They are much wider than the Western Ghats. This is something that you should be noting it down. Clear? Now see, because they lack structural integrity, lot of ranges or hills are present here. Gajat hills we are already done. Now see, on the eastern side, or you would be seeing on the southeastern side of the Gajat hills lie the Nayangiri hills. This is what? The Nayangiri hills. Now if you go, this covers the part of the Odishan region. Now if you come to the southern part, you will be seeing this particular range that is there. That is Nala Malai Hills. What? Nala Malai Hills. It is in Andhra Pradesh, sorry. It is in Andhra Pradesh. Just south of the Nala Malai Hills are the two hills that are present. This particular hill is the Palkonda range, again in Andhra Pradesh. On the eastern side of it lies the Velakonda range, again in Andhra Pradesh. If you move south, lies the Javadi Hills in Tamil Nadu. Please understand, this can be asked in your paper. These hills or ranges lie in which state predominantly? That is why I have mentioned the states in the bracket. Clear? That is why I mentioned the states in the bracket. Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, right? If you further come south of the Javadi Hills lie the Shevaroy, Shevaroy, Shevaroy Hills. South of the Shevaroy Hills are the Panchmalai Hills, again in Tamil Nadu. Then further south over here lies the Palani Hills, again in Tamil Nadu. These are basically the Eastern Ghats, broken into various ranges and hills, because a lot of rivers are flowing from this particular Western Ghats and entering the Bay of Bengal. So that is why they lack structural integrity also. A lot of further erosion activities have taken place. So these are all parts of the Eastern Ghats. These are the characteristics of the Eastern Ghats as we have done. Okay, let's move ahead. Coastal plain. See, I have divided into again Eastern and Western coastal plain. If you see the Western coastal plain, now see, if I see the broad divisions, you have the Gujarat plains, you have the Konkan plains, you have the Karnataka coastal plain, you have the Malabar, right? The name itself suggests the Gujarat plain covering the parts of Gujarat. Length is 2340 kilometers. Again, please remember, among the Western coastal plain, the largest length is of the Gujarat plain. Clear? This can be asked in your papers, and to your knowledge, let me tell you, many years back in Kaun Banega Crorepati also, this was asked for, I think, 6,40,000 rupees. Long time, I think, before the COVID time, right? Okay. Length 2340 kilometers, formed by the alluvial from the Sabarmati River, Mahi River, and the Luni River. So it is formed because of that. Konkan, basically again covering the parts of Maharashtra and Goa also. 530 kilometers, 30 to 50 kilometers width is there. Karnataka coastal plain, again the coastal plain of Karnataka. 525 kilometers long, 8 to 25 kilometers width. Malabar basically covers the Kerala part, right? So Kerala, 550 kilometers long, 20 to 100 kilometers wide. So this is your Western coastal plain. Clear? Let's move ahead towards the Eastern coastal plain. Now the Eastern coastal plain is 1750 kilometers long, 100 to 200 kilometers wide. Again, the width is, why it is wider? Why it is wider? The reason behind it is because majority of the rivers over here, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, are basically depositing their alluvium on this side. So more the deposition takes place, so the coastal plain is going to be more wider, right? It is going to be more wider. So this is Utkal plain in the region of Orissa. Again, the Andhra Pradesh region, it is known as the Northern Circus. And further south in the Tamil Nadu region, it is known as the Coromandel Coast. Clear? This is the Eastern coastal plain. Now comes the islands, another division of India, as I had mentioned. Please understand, there are certain things that you should know. I'm dividing the slides into two categories, right? First is with respect to the major islands, that is the Andaman Nicobar and the Lakshadweep Islands, and the other part is the other few important islands that are present across the coast or along the coast for that matter, right? So if you see the Lakshadweep, there are certain important islands: Minicoy, Android, Kavarati, Amini, and Kiltan. These are again there are a lot of islands are there. These are certain important islands which you come across with respect to Lakshadweep. If you see the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, please understand. First, let us see the Andaman part. Northern Andaman. Over here, you have a very important peak that is known as Saddle Peak. SADDLE, Saddle Peak. You should always remember this name. This can be asked in your examination. Clear? Below that, just or rather you can say, alongside the Andaman lies an island that is known as Narcondam, and just below Narcondam lies the Barren Island, right? Below the North Andaman lies the Middle Andaman, and below that lies the South Andaman. Below the South Andaman lies a small island that is Little Andaman. Now, please, why it is important is 11-degree latitudes separates the Little Andaman from the South Andaman. This can be asked in your examination. Very important. 11-degree channel, or let us say 11-degree latitude, separates the Little Andaman from the South Andaman. You can note it down, right? Now, when you move down, you will be realizing there is Car Nicobar, right? So, if you see, the 10-degree latitude is separating Little Andaman from Car Nicobar, or alternatively, you can say that 10-degree latitude is separating the Andaman Islands from the Nicobar Islands. These are all what? Andaman Islands. These are what? Nicobar Islands. So 10 degree is basically separating the Andaman from the Nicobar, or they can alternatively put it is separating the Little Andaman from the Car Nicobar, right? Now, below that lies a Little Nicobar and then the Great Nicobar. So these are islands of what? Andaman and Nicobar, and over here Lakshadweep. Now, if you see, these are certain islands that you should be aware of. Now see, other than them, they can ask you certain islands. Now, how they can ask you? They can ask you that this is a particular island. It is adjacent to which particular state, right? Now, that is what makes sense also when they want to ask you. So you should be aware of certain islands. Why you should be aware? Please understand. If you see the study of the islands, most of the candidates do study Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep. But this is one part that they miss because this is not present in your NCRTs also directly. So this can be asked. Over here, see, More Island and Sagar Island. These are what? Just as adjacent to what? West Bengal. Then you have the Wheeler Island. Wheeler Island along Odisha. Let us come down over here. You have Crocodile Island. You have what? Crocodile Island. Then you have One Tivu. One Tivu Island. This II that I have mentioned is short form for island. Okay? So let me very clear about that. Then is just a minute. Advunda Island. Then is Pamban Island. All these are present next to Tamil Nadu. Next to Tamil Nadu. Let's come here. There is another island, Pocock Island, next to Karnataka. Again, island is Saint Mary's Island. Saint Mary's Island. Mary. And here is Pocock Island. So next to Karnataka. Next is Elephanta Island next to Maharashtra, and Cross Island next to Maharashtra. Again, Diu is obviously very well known as a union territory next to Gujarat. Clear? So this is what is an important part of your island part, right? So clear, everybody? Okay, so let's move to the further topics. See, we have covered the Indian physiographic part. The next part that we have taken is, see, as we had mentioned, we have taken in brief about the vegetation also and soil also. Again, those are important ingredients. Those are repeatedly asked by UPSC also from the map perspective, right? Let's see. Natural vegetation. Now, something very important. What is natural vegetation? So this is a very specific definition which is mentioned in your NCERT also and accepted by government also. Now see what it basically says. Natural vegetation refers to the plant community that has been left undisturbed. That is why we use the word natural, because it has been left undisturbed. It is naturally existing over a long time, so as to allow individual species to adjust themselves to climate and soil conditions as fully as possible. So a region which is again has a vegetation on its own rather than being disturbed by human beings per se, that is natural vegetation. That is why we have natural forest and forest that are present naturally are again a part of the natural vegetation, right? There are 2 points that are basically, whenever you read the state of forest report and all, these 2 words are repeatedly mentioned. See, one is the forest area, next is a forest cover. This can be asked in your papers also. Now please understand, when I talk about forest area, it is the land marked as forest land by the government or the authorities. Let us assume one thing. This is a patch of land. Let us assume this. This is a patch of land, right? Right? Now, the government, from the perspective of its revenue, declares this region as let us say forest area. It is being declared in spite of the fact, let us assume there is not a single tree or any forest, leave around forest, not a single tree present there. But this has been demarcated by the government as forest area for the perspective of revenue calculation. Clear? On the other hand, when you talk about use of forest cover, you are actually talking about the physical presence of the forest. That is why forest cover includes an area that is greater than 1 hectare, where canopy density is greater than 10%. That is why when you see certain trees around here, that is not forest, because it does not meet this particular criteria, right? You have 10 trees over here, that is not a forest. For it to be a forest, we realize that again there is a lot of classifications of types of forest, but this is a basic where at least greater than 1 hectare, where a canopy density is greater than 10%. Then this is actually the presence of a forest. This is from the perspective of demarcation being done. Whether the forest is there or not a consideration. It is just demarked. Clear? So there might not be a single forest or a tree also present, but it can be declared as a forest area. So that is what these 2 things should be known by you. This can be asked in your examination in the prelims in particular. Clear? Okay, let's move ahead. Now this is one particular map that I have drawn by hand and labeled it also. If you do this, you will be basically knowing everything or majorly everything about the natural vegetation. Clear? Now see, if I see the divisions that has been made over here, let us see. First, let us take the montane. Then you have the tropical, evergreen, semi-evergreen, swampy. Fourth, tropical deciduous, and fifth, tropical thorn. Clear? Let us see. Let's move like this. Montane forest. Now these are again present in those hilly regions where high altitude, where you realize that temperatures are low. So automatically you'll be having that particular type of vegetation that is naturally adapted to it. So in the Himalayan region, example, cher, pine, spruce, junipers, birch. Now please understand, this is a very big misconception, and this can be asked in your papers because it is mentioned in the NCERT. These types of forests which are present because of the high altitude. This is fine because the altitude is high in this particular region, it is fine. But there are certain regions in the southern part also that you realize that similar type of trees are found there, natural vegetation is found. In what regions? Western Ghats, Nilgiris and Vindhyans, because in certain parts the altitude increases so much that the conditions over here are very similar to what the Himalayan conditions are, right? So it is similar because of that the altitude and the temperature is low, so similar type of vegetation occurs. That is why if in your examination the question is asked, montane forest or mountain like forest are found in the Himalayan region, okay, right. Second, Western Ghats. Third, Vindhyans. Fourth, Nilgiris. You will be saying that how come mountain forest is found in Himalayas, so we know it is fine, but not in these regions, so you'll mark it wrong. No, NCERT very categorically mentions, and the standard books also mention. So this is also you should remember. And then the Western Ghats, in the higher regions or the higher altitudes or higher portions of the Western Ghats, you'll be realizing these types of vegetations are found. Clear? And certain examples are mentioned here. Next, tropical, evergreen and semi-evergreen. Now please understand, tropical evergreen means those regions where maximum amount of rainfall has taken place. Now, just regions adjoining the evergreen which have little lesser rainfall than the evergreen are the semi-evergreen, right? So what we see over here, evergreen are those where greater than 200 centimeters rain occur. So a lot of rainfall is there, and a lot of canopy is there. So what we see, rosewood, mahogany, any, ebony, these are the examples of the tropical evergreen vegetation. Semi-evergreen, which is now next to the evergreen, but relatively lesser rainfall than evergreen. So examples are white cedar, hemlock, and kale. Clear? Next over here are the swampy. Those regions, now swampy type of environment is there, a lot of rainfall again is there. Over here you realize that salt content is very high. So that is why salt tolerant plants might be present over here. Again, in these regions, deltatic regions to be more precise. Then you have the tropical deciduous forest or the natural vegetation. These are also two types. Moist deciduous. Now in the moist deciduous, please understand that when I am talking about evergreen, it is now, we realize this is a comparative value, right? Greater than 200 centimeters. Now this is from little less than evergreen, but again, it will be having, you cannot say that completely divide the vegetation. There will be certain aspects of this also vegetation present here, because again, there is no single boundary that is being demarcated as we see the political aspects. These are natural vegetation, a little bit of overlap will definitely take place. Now, among the tropical deciduous are two types, moist deciduous and dry deciduous. This is again also dependent upon the rainfall. Moist deciduous, again, you will be seeing, if you see from the evergreen, if you have little bit less rainfall, then it is a semi-evergreen. If you have little bit less rainfall than in the comparison to the semi-evergreen, you will be having the dry deciduous. If you have little less rainfall than the wet deciduous, then you will be having the dry deciduous. So, if you see maximum rainfall, then you have the evergreen, little less rainfall, semi-evergreen, little more less rainfall, wet deciduous, little more less rainfall, dry deciduous. Clear? So, moist deciduous, 100 to 200 centimeters rain. Examples, teak, sal, shisham, sandalwood, mahua. Here, dry deciduous, 70 to 100 centimeters rainfall. Here, example, tendu, palus, amalthus, bear, etc. These are the examples of moist and dry deciduous and their respective examples. This can be asked, please remember, they can put certain examples of dry deciduous and ask you which among the following are examples of wet deciduous vegetation. Please, whatever names I'm mentioning here, if you note it down, it will be good enough for you to answer them in your prelims examination. Next are the tropical thorn forest. You very well know this is a region of the desert type, so automatically this rainfall is going to be the least. So less than 50 centimeters. So those vegetation that is adapted to those rain deficit regions. So they're going to be babool, bear, wild date palms, neem, kanjari, and palus. These are certain examples of that. Clear? So this is the exact map that is given in your NCERTs also and standard books. This is accepted by the Government of India, or to be more precise, the Union Public Service Commission. So you should draw them, remember them. When you do it like this, in one slide itself, you completely remember it. Right? You have what have I done? I've summarized everything into this one slide. That is why you people suffer from the aspect, because you do not compress the knowledge that you are gaining. Right? Okay. Now this was briefly, we are doing natural vegetation. We have done natural vegetation. Next, move on to the soil. Again, an important part. After natural vegetation, soil, we will go to the drainage system. The last part and the most important part also, because over there I have done drainage in extreme detail with respect to the map. And slowly told you how you can mark and remember the rivers also. Clear? Let's see. Let's first see soil. Soil is a mixture of rock debris and the organic material which develops on the earth's surface. Right? Simple definition. What are the factors as mentioned in the NCERT also? Relief, parent rock, vegetation, climate, living organisms, and the time. How long or how much duration is there, depending upon that, obviously you'll be seeing the it impacts the soil also, the formation that takes place. So all these 6 points are very important. This can also be asked or have been asked in your civil services preliminary examination. Let's move ahead. Again, similarly, I have drawn the map for your soils. Clear? Let us do one by one. First, forest. The sufficient rainfall is present here. This soil is relatively acidic in nature. It is coarser because you will be realizing that in the upper regions, the erosion that has taken place is not to that very great extent. So that is why the soil is a little coarse. As you move to the valleys, it is more siltier and more fine. That is why coarser in the upper slopes and silty in the valley. Clear? This is the forest soil. This region has been marked here. Now next is the alluvial soil. We very well know that we have studied also. Alluvial soil basically is an outcome of the depositions that are take place by the rivers. And this is the largest soil in India also. Deposition of silt, 45.6% of the total area of India is covered by the alluvial soil. So this, which is asked, this is in the maximum extent. We very well know there are two types of alluvial soil. One is the Bangar, other is a Khadar. Bangar is the old alluvial, Khadar is a new alluvial. We have already done in the, when we are doing the northern plains. So you all know that. Next is, it is fit for cultivation of rice, wheat, cotton, sugarcane, very fertile. So almost every crop if you see can grow over here, provided the conditions are available. Next is the red and yellow soil. Now this is reddish majorly because of the high iron content. Deficit in nitrogen, phosphorus and humus. So that means organic matter is lacking. So over here again millets and pulses can be grown. Again, so it is lacking in nutrition, minerals. So that is why if you want to make it fertile, you will have to add a lot of fertilizers to make it fit for cultivation. Next comes the laterite soil. Now laterite soil is in those regions where very heavy rainfall and very let us say high temperature is present there. Now that leads to leaching, or that means the minerals basically move down. Now what happens is that intense leaching, now it leads to rich in iron, manganese and aluminium content, poor in nutrients, and it is used for brick making. So again, not very fit for cultivation also. Black soil, now it is an outcome of, or due to the erosional activities of the volcanic rocks. We very well know that the Deccan Plateau was formed during the Cretaceous period while the Indian plate was moving over the Reunion Islands. So a lot of volcanic activities took place, and that led to a step-like structure which is currently known as the Deccan Trap. Now over the time, due to a lot of erosional activities that took place, those volcanic rocks basically converted into more finer particles, and that led to a condition which we currently see as the black soil. Now this black soil is again very suitable for cultivation of cotton. That is why we call it as a black cotton soil. So it has formed from the volcanic rocks, high iron, aluminium and manganese content is present here. If you see the arid soil, now you very well know that arid soil, because it is in the regions of desert, it will be a region where rainfall will be very less. So when the rainfall is lacking, so by default you will be realizing poor rainfall. Organic matter will definitely be lacking because the moisture content is very less. High amount of calcium carbonate is there. So again, those crops which can be grown in deficit of rainfall regions like millets and even pulses can be grown over here. So these are the types of soil that you need to remember. Clear? I hope it is clear to everybody. Okay. So the next topic that we are beginning is the drainage system. Okay. Let's begin the drainage system. Okay. First, we will do the Ganga river system. Please understand this very well. I am doing this Ganga system very comprehensively. Now, whatever I am doing, please make sure that you note down everything. Because once you have done this, I am telling you again, there will not be a single river or a question that you will not be able to attempt in your examination. Every single question that comes with respect to rivers or whatever we respect to the topics we have covered, you will be very easily able to attempt them because we are using maps and diagrams. Now please see, when we come to the Ganga river system, realize that before I move to this particular slide, you know that very well that all these rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and all are originating in the Uttarakhand region, right? Now it is very difficult for me to represent everything in this particular part. So what I have done is, I have drawn this slide in prior and say what happens in Uttarakhand. Clear? Understood? So whatever this basically represents is basically representing what? The Uttarakhand region. Clear? Let's move back. When I am teaching you this, let's see what happens in Uttarakhand. Now please see it very, very clearly. Very often you tend to misconceive this concept that when we see that Ganga originates from Badrinath or Gangotri, a lot of books say a lot of things. Please understand one thing very well. What originates in Badrinath is Alaknanda river. What originates in Gangotri is the Bhagirathi river. When the Bhagirathi and Alaknanda basically merge at the Devprayag, then it is called Ganga, not before that. You should be very, very clear with this fact that when Alaknanda combines or mixes with Bhagirathi at Devprayag, then only it is known as Ganga. Clear? So let's begin. If you see from Badrinath, again you will be seeing all these are very important from respect to the cultural aspect also. Now this shows you one thing, how nature and religion are closely interrelated, right? That is why when you see or when you study the types of religion, you will be seeing the concept of naturism comes, the study of nature and the belief in nature, worship of nature. That is again very closely related to this place, right? Badrinath, from Badrinath originates Alaknanda. See here, A-L-A-K, Alak Nanda, right? Alaknanda. Now Alaknanda combines with Dholi Ganga at a place which is known as Vishnu Prayag. Which is known as Vishnu Prayag. That means Alaknanda and Dholi Ganga combine at a place known as Vishnu Ganga. Now please see this and understand this very carefully. Over here also Alaknanda is flowing, right? Alaknanda. Let us Alaknanda be known as A. Right? What do we see? Alaknanda is equivalent to A, right? So let us say A is flowing. Now we already know Dholi Ganga is combined or merged with Alaknanda at Vishnu Prayag. Now Alaknanda flows down. Nandakini merges with Alaknanda at Nand Prayag, right? Nand Prayag. Now again Alaknanda is flowing. Pindar Ganga merges with Alaknanda at Karn Prayag. Alaknanda and Pindar Ganga merge at Karn Prayag. Now Alaknanda is again flowing. Now remember, Mandakini river that comes from the Kedarnath merges with Alaknanda at Rudraprayag. Even now it is called Alaknanda only. Please understand that very well. The word Ganga is not used here. The word Ganga is not used here. So it is Alaknanda only that is moving. Now the important thing comes. From Gangotri, Bhagirathi rivers comes and it merges with Alaknanda. Now it is known as Ganga. Now it is known as Ganga, and where it merges is known as Devprayag. For those students who are from Uttarakhand, if you will be appearing for Uttarakhand PCS, this question is something that comes every time. If you are a candidate who is for the preparing coming or going to give the UPSC Prelims, then also it can be asked. If you will go to the interview, then also it can be asked, particularly if you are from Uttarakhand. This is the pet question for the students who are from Uttarakhand or the neighboring states also for that matter. Now, from Yamunotri, the Yamuna river originates. Now later on we will see where it merges and all. That is a separate case altogether, right? So is it clear to everybody, this graph, this diagram, how the things are going and how the merging is taking place? This is taking place in Uttarakhand. Clear? Now we will move on to the next part. We will be moving on to the next part. See here now. Over here, please remember, we know that, please understand this very carefully. Please understand this very carefully. This river, that main river that is coming, this is what? Ganga, right? This is Ganga. I am doing it in parts. How? See, I am currently in this graph or map, I am covering just the northern part majorly and one Yamuna. In the next part, I will be covering the tributaries of Yamuna. In the next part, I will be covering the remaining tributaries of Ganga. Now what will happen is this will give you a lot of space to understand what are the tributaries and what are they. If I would merge everything on one slide, it will become very difficult for you to understand and write. Clear? And similarly, we'll move on to the others, right? Okay, let's move ahead. First is, we have done this, moving next. Now see, Now the Ganga river again, we well know from where it originates and where, and then it moves on and moves on to Bangladesh. We all know that. Now please see, there is this again from Yamunotri we realize that Yamuna river originates and it moves, and again at Prayag you realize that it merges with Ganga, right? Over here there is one more important river. This small tributary, do you realize this small tributary? This is Tons river. Tons river very interestingly has quantity of water much greater than Yamuna till here. When it merges, obviously it increases the quantity. It basically originates from Bandeir Punch again in Uttarakhand, and it merges with Yamuna and moves ahead. Now see very categorically over here. All these rivers are left bank tributaries. How do you calculate left bank and right bank? See, any river that is flowing, let us say this is the river that is flowing, this is the direction of river. Now this is, from this perspective you will analyze whether it is right or left. Any river merging from this side, you need to know the direction in which the main river is flowing, right? The main river is flowing. Now the tributaries merging from the left, these are left bank tributaries. Any river merging from here are the right bank. Now let us take the direction. Let us say this is the river and it is moving this side. Now our direction is this. Any river merging from this side, this is the left bank tributaries, and any merging from this side are the right bank tributaries. Clear? Now over here, see the direction of the river flow is here. So these rivers are left bank tributaries of Ganga. Clear? Left bank tributaries of Ganga. Now see this very categorically. You realize that Ganga is flowing from here. You realize that one of the tributaries is Ram Ganga. Now this Ram Ganga basically originates from the Kumaon Himalayan region of Uttarakhand, right? Kumaon Himalayan region of Uttarakhand, and merges with Ganga. Now if you see next to it is again an important river, that is Gomti river. Again joins Ganga river. Very important city that comes or is situated along the Gomti river is Lucknow. You would be realizing government has taken a lot of initiatives with respect to Gomti riverfront development. So you should be knowing that. It can be asked also again. Now see very importantly, next tributary is, please understand, there is one river, this particular river. This is known as Sharda or Kali. Sharda or Kali river basically originate from the Milan Glacier. Clear? Now please see this. This particular river flows as Sharda and Kali over here, and there is another river, Karnali, that basically originates from Gurla Mandhata peak that you very well know is in Nepal. These two rivers merge, and this river is then known as Ghagra. Please understand this again. Ghagra river is formed by the merger of Sharda or Kali river and the Karnali river. When these both rivers merge, the river now is known as Ghagra, which again further goes ahead and merges with the Ganga river. Is it clear to everybody? Next, if you move ahead, you will be realizing that there is another important river that is rising from the Nepal Himalayas, that is Rapti, R-A-P-T-I. Rapti. This again emerges from the Nepal Himalayas and merges with the Ghagra river. Now see again, moving ahead. The next river next to Rapti is the Gandhak. Next river, this river is Gandhak, again rising from the Nepal Himalayas and then again merging with Ganga because it is an important tributary. If you move further towards the east, there is another important river, Kosi river. This again merges with what? The Ganga river. Now comes the, you would say, the extreme or the last left bank tributary of Ganga, that is Mahanada. Please remember, it is not Mahanadi, it is Mahanada. Mahanada is basically arising from near Siliguri region, and it is the leftist most tributary of Ganga. Right? So this is what is the order. You should know them because they can ask you moving from east to west and all. These are all what? These are all the left bank tributaries, right? These are all the left bank tributaries. And obviously, Yamuna is a right bank tributary. That is a different case. These are the left bank tributaries, and you should know the order because they can be asked. You can be asked in the examination to arrange it in the specific order from east to west or west to east, whatever be the case. Clear? Now let's move ahead to the next. Now see, you have already labeled all these, so I am not mentioning it over here because that will make the diagram very cluttery and not be able to comprehend. Now see, over here our focus is again the part of the Ganga river system, but again you very well know that Yamuna is a part of the overall Ganga river system because it is an important tributary. But Yamuna river itself has many sub-tributaries, right? So we will be considering that over here. Now see, we very well know this is what? This is what Yamuna river, right? Let us mark it again. This is what Yamuna. Now this is the main Yamuna river and there are other tributaries. So let us see one by one. Now please understand, the Yamuna river is flowing in this direction, yes? The Yamuna river is flowing in this direction. So these rivers are joining it from the right side. So these are the right bank tributaries of Yamuna. And Yamuna itself is a right bank tributary of Ganga. Clear? Now see. Over here we realize that a very important river that we are talking here is the Chambal river. Right? Now see here. This is the Chambal river. Clear? This Chambal river is a very important river. Now this river again originates from the Vindhyan range. This Chambal river again has some tributaries. Now please understand, if the Chambal river is flowing in this direction, see this, if the Chambal river is flowing in this direction, so these two this river is merging it from the right. So Chambal river has a right bank tributary in the form of this. Please understand, there is one major river that comes, this is known as Gambhir. Gambhir is joined by one small river that is known as Shipra. Shipra, Gambhir. So this river basically merges with Chambal, right? Now see over here. See over here. Chambal river also is merged by two more right bank tributaries. See over here. This particular river is known as Kali Sindh. This river is known as, please understand this. This river is known as Kali Sindh, that originates from the Malwa Plateau. Clear? Next to it, this particular river, this is known as Parbati. Parbati also, Parbati, whatever you say, because it is a regional dialect, so they want to say Parvati, but Parbati they used to call it, so you can call it anyway. Parbati again from the Malwa Plateau. So see what we see here, that the Chambal river has right bank tributaries in the form of Gambhir river, which is merged by Shipra, the Kali Sindh, and then the Parbati. Now please understand one more thing, that it again has one more river over here, that is Banas. Now Banas has one more tributary, Kaira. Now this basically originates from the Aravalis and again moving this direction. Clear? Now see, next to this, now please, this Chambal river has merged with what? The Yamuna river over here. Now see, next to the Chambal river is important river one, this is known as Sindh river, S-I-N-D, Sindh. Now the Sindh, next to Sindh river is the Betwa. This is what? Betwa. Both of them are originating from the Vidisha Plateau. Vidisha Plateau. Next to it is the Ken river from the Barmer range that we had studied earlier on when we were doing the ranges. So these are again the various tributaries that are merging with Yamuna, and again Yamuna is merging with Ganga. Clear? Done everybody? Just have a look at it. If you haven't, please pause the video. Please pause the video and note it down. Here, pause the video and please note it down. Now moving ahead, let us move on to see what we have done in the first slide. We have covered these, then we have covered the Yamuna tributaries. Now let us move a little further. A very important tributary of Ganga. Now please understand, this is a right bank tributary of Ganga, that is the Son river. Now see, this Son river, please understand, it again originates from the Amarkantak Plateau. It has various tributaries. One tributary is Johila, other tributary is Gopal, and other tributaries Rihand, where the Rihand Dam is there. You will be knowing that. So these again are important tributaries which basically are merging with Son. If you move little further towards the eastern side, you will be seeing that there is an important river which is known as a Damodar River. Damodar River is basically merging with the Hooghly River. One of the tributaries of Damodar is Barakal. So, Barakal River. So, this is again a very important tributary of the Damodar. Damodar is rising from the Chota Nagpur Plateau. So, this is again the eastern side rivers of that are attached to Ganga in a way. You can say that. Clear? Okay. This was the Ganga river system. Clear, everybody? This was a Ganga river system. Now, what we're going to do is we'll move on to the peninsular, and then we will do Indus and Brahmaputra. Right? So let's move ahead. Let us move on to the peninsular river system. What we have done first, we have done is Ganga river system. Now let us move on to the peninsular rivers. Among the peninsular rivers, if you see, this is the Luni river, which originates from the Aravalis. Again, Banas also from the Aravalis. Then you realize Sabarmati and Mahi. These are all also from the Aravali rills, right? Then you have the Narmada river. Narmada river again originates from the Amarkantak Plateau, and then it moves and basically discharges towards the, you would say, Arabian Sea, right? So these are those rivers in a way which are west flowing, important. This river is the Tapi river, which originates from the Satpura range. So what we have done is few important rivers in this particular portion, or the west flowing rivers we have covered in the peninsular region. So these are the peninsular river system. We will be covering the other rivers in the next slide. Just note it down, all of you. Luni, Banas, Sabarmati, Mahi. Hiran is again a tributary of the Narmada river. Again a tributary of the Narmada river. Clear? Please note it down properly. Please note it down properly. Okay, let's move ahead. Now see, having covered these, let us move to the right side, peninsular part. A very important river is Mahanadi. Please remember that Mahanada was the leftmost tributary, joining it, right? To be more precise, you can say the from that perspective. If you want to say, see, if we present here Mahanada, it is the, in a way, rightmost, rather not leftmost, rightmost tributary, not leftmost, just a minute. That is joining it, right? Before it enters Bangladesh. This is Mahanada. While we are studying over here, this is Mahanadi. Now Mahanadi rises from what? Chhattisgarh basin. Now please understand, it has various tributaries. One, again, please understand, there is a Mahanadi delta over here. So there are few right bank tributaries. These are left bank tributaries. If you see the left bank tributaries, one is this Hasdeo river. Then there is Manda river, and there is Ib, right? Manda and Ib. If you see the right bank tributaries, Jonk, Ong and Tel. These are the major right bank tributaries. There is one more important river, Subarnarekha. This basically rises from the southwest Ranchi and then discharges into the Bay of Bengal. These are other few important rivers of the Peninsular Plateau. Clear, everybody? Clear? Copy down quickly. Copy down quickly, properly. Copied? I guess you have copied. Let's move ahead. Now see, let us move on to the next river, Godavari. See, why I have broken into some parts and rivers is because you generally are not able to identify what are the various tributaries of the rivers. When you do it in this manner, you will not forget it. Clear? And every year, the names of the tributaries are mentioned, and they ask, these are the tributaries of which river? They might mention certain tributaries of Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and they'll say these are, which among the following tributaries are tributaries of Godavari? And if you do not know these maps, you will never be able to answer. I'm telling you again, out of this particular 2.5 hour lecture that you are doing, I'm telling you, when you give the paper prelims, it is not only for those who are giving the prelims, but also for the people who are preparing for the, let us say, 26, 27, 28, 29, 2029 paper also, then also it is equally relevant. You will come across many questions from these particular slides which I am doing. Mark my word. If not the complete question, there will be statements out of these only that will be asked. right? What from the physical, Indian physical geography. Now see, this is the major river, Godavari River. Now Godavari River basically originates from Trimbakeshwar, that is Nashik in Maharashtra, right? Nashik and Maharashtra originates, and it moves towards and discharges towards the Bay of Bengal. We very well know, and there is a Godavari Delta over here. Now see, there are various tributaries, right bank and left bank, that you should be aware of. Now, one of the tributaries, right bank, is Manjra River. Now please very well understand that there is one very important left bank tributary that is known as Pranhita, and that Pranhita is formed by the merger of three main rivers. One is Penganga, one is Vardha, other is Vainganga. So in a way, these are tributaries of Godavari itself, but those again form Pranhita. Next tributary is Indravati, next is Sabhar. These are the tributaries of Godavari. These are the tributaries of Godavari. Understand it very well. If you remember these tributaries, you will be able to answer many questions in your papers. So please, this is a unique opportunity for you to just make the best use of it. Few hours of hard work, not only for those appearing for 2025, but also for the other future years. Make sure that you copy each and everything, any diagram that I'm making and map I'm making. If you do it, I'm telling you, guaranteeing you that NCRTs and the standard books, whatever are there for Indian physical geography, they are going to be like a cakewalk for you, right? So again, Manjara from the right bank, then you have the Pranhita formed by Penganga, Vardha and Vainganga, and you have Indravati and then the Sabar. The Godavari length again is 1465 kilometers, right? Length is 1465 kilometers. Clear? Let's move ahead. Next is, again, this was Godavari, right? Now we have removed the markings of that. We are moving on to the next river. Next river is Krishna. Now Krishna river is 1401 kilometers long. Now the length is shorter than Godavari. Remember that. This can also be asked. Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, arrange them in there according to their length. Most of you will get confused in Godavari and Krishna. So Godavari is the longest, 1465 kilometers. Then you have Krishna, 1401, right? So please understand, this is the Godavari river. It basically originates from Mahabaleshwar. You very well know that I made you mark Mahabaleshwar in the initial when I was marking the ranges and the mountain peaks, right? So from Mahabaleshwar, the Krishna river originates. Now it has various again tributaries and sub-tributaries. The left bank tributary is Bhima, and further you move ahead, there is a left bank tributary Musi, and there is a left bank tributary Muneru. In the examination, I remember a few years back, a question on Musi and Muneru had come. And those who knew this could have answered the whole question, but most of them did not study. That is why they could not. Please understand, if there are 3-4 statements present, this is something basic that you should know. If you do not know them because you don't study, you will be losing the marks. Question was asked indirectly on this. So, Bhima, Musi, Muneru. If you see from the right bank tributaries, because this is the flow of the river, so joining from the right side, this is Ghatprabha, this is Malprabha, this is Tungabhadra. So these are the, again, left bank, and these are the right bank tributaries of Krishna, 1401 kilometers. Clear? Having done Krishna, we will move on further south. Kaveri. Now Kaveri is merely 800 kilometers long. So now you very well know Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, if you are made to arrange them in order. Godavari being the longest, then you have the Krishna, and then you have the Kaveri, right? Okay. Kaveri rivers basically rises from the Brahmagiri hills as mentioned in your NCERT also. It has certain tributaries like the left bank tributary is Hemvati. It is joined by Kambani, and a right bank tributary is Amravati. Please understand, Amravati is there are various Amravatis again in Andhra Pradesh also and other places also. Along with it, there is Amravati, this river is also there. So do not get confused. Clear? That how come Amravati has come here? These are names, right? So this is Kaveri. Clear? Now please understand, let's move ahead. Other than the main rivers that you have done, you've done Mahanadi, you have done Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, all these have been done. There are certain other rivers which you should have a brief idea where they are. Clear? So if you see here on the right side, please understand these small rivers are those rivers which are mentioned in your NCERTs also. These are small rivers flowing into the Arabian Sea. And there are small rivers which are flowing into the Bay of Bengal. So among them, these small rivers are Poniyar River, Vaigai River, Gundar River and Arjuna River. Again, these are in Tamil Nadu region. Now, if you come here, you realize that certain important rivers which you keep on reading, Bharatpuzha and Periyar, again in Tamil, these are in, Kerala. These rivers are draining into the Arabian Sea. Then you have the Sharavati River. Then you have the Kali Nadi River. Then you have Vaitarna River. Then you have Shetkunji River, again in the Gujarat region, and Brahada River. So these are the important rivers of the peninsular region. Hopefully you have covered all the peninsular rivers now. I think if you do this, I don't think any question can come outside the peninsular rivers and the Ganga river system. Now let us move back to the topic of the Indus river system. Sorry, Indus drainage system and the Brahmaputra, right? These are the two things that are remaining. After that, your part that we have to do will be covered. First, again, handmade. Please draw this by hand, the sketch. First step is draw the map if you want to do the Indus drainage system properly. Next is, I've drawn certain things. Now, please note this very, very carefully. Now, see, this is the Indus river which we are talking about, right? See, the Indus River basically originates from the Bhokarchu Glacier on the northern slope of Mount Kailash. Now, it is known as Singi Khamban or the lion's mouth. What? Lion's mouth in the Tibetan language. Now, it enters India, then it moves in the northwestern direction and then takes a turn and then enters Pakistan. During this process, please understand, it basically comes across. Let me make it with a darker color, otherwise it will be not very clear. During this time, it basically come across various rivers. Now this is moving in this direction, so that means the tributaries coming from the right side will be right and this from the left and left, depending on the direction, okay? Now this small river that joins it is known as the Dras River. Now please remember that there is another very important river, Shivalik River, that joins the Indus River. This is the Shivalik River. Now the Shivalik River has itself certain tributaries. One is this Nubra River. This particular river is Shigar. Shigar. Let me write it again. Shigar. Shigar River. This is Nubra River, right? This is Nubra, this is Shigar. Now please understand that Shigar River itself is formed by the merger of two rivers. One is this small river that is known as Braldu, and other is Basha River. This is the Basha River. Further you move ahead, you will be realizing there is another river that joins the Indus River. It is the Gilgit River, originating from the Gilgit-Baltistan region. If you move further ahead, you will be realizing there is a small river that joins the Indus River from as a left bank tributary. The name of this is Astor River. Astor River, right? This is Dras River. This is Shivalik. This is Shivalik River. Clear? So what do we see over here? First is, this is the Indus. We are focusing on Indus, then we will focus on the other tributaries also. So what we have done is Indus River. It is joined by the Dras River as a left bank tributary. This is left. Then you have the Shylock River. Shylock River is formed by Nubra, Shigar. Shigar is formed by two Basha and Braldu. And then you have the Gilgit River that is joining the Indus River from the as a right bank tributary. And then as you move ahead, Aster River generates from the left bank tributary. Clear? So this is again the path that you should know. Now you have understood Indus. Let us move on to the other important tributaries of Indus. Let's see that. Let's see that. Now see here. I am not considering this particular part where Gilgit, Braldu, Bhasha, Nubra, Oras, all is done. That is not my concern now because we've already covered that. What is my concern now is the next river, that is Jhelum. See over here. See over here very categorically. Okay. See here. This river which I am drawing here is the Jhelum River. Important part is because it forms like a boundary between India and Pakistan. The Jhelum River, please understand, is 400 kilometers long. It is also known as Vitasta, also called as Vitasta traditionally known as Vitasta. Now what happens it originates, where does Jhelum originate? It originates from a spring at Verinag at the foothills of the Pir Panjal range. Jhelum originates from the foothills of the Pir Panjal range. When it originates from the Pir Panjal range, it moves towards in this direction, see here. It moves in the southwestern direction towards Anantnag. From Anantnag, it moves in the northwestern direction towards the Wular Lake, and then towards the west where it passes through Baramulla. Then it moves towards the northeastern direction. Then it acts as a border between India and Pakistan, and then it moves into Pakistan. Important thing over here is that Jhelum River has a very important right bank tributary. See the right bank tributary? This right bank tributary over here, this is Kishan Ganga or the Neelam River. Kishan Ganga or the Neelam River. Kishan Ganga or Neelam. This is the important tributary of Jhelum. Right? Important tributary of Jhelum. Clear everybody? We have done what we have done. We have done the Indus River. We have done the Jhelum River along with its origination and its path. Now let us move to the next river. Let us move to the next river, which is the Chenab River. Which is the Chenab River. Please understand, Chenab is the largest tributary of Indus. It is 1180 kilometers. It basically is known as Askini. It is formed by the merger of two rivers, that is Chandrabhaga River, and originates from the side of Baralacha Pass. So very well know, from the either side of Baralacha Pass, there are two rivers originating, Chandra and Bhaga. They merge to form Chenab River. So see over here, very categorically and very properly see over here. See here, this river is Chandra, this river is Bhaga, right? This is Chandra, this lower one is Bhaga. Now these Chandra Bhaga river merge to form what? Chenab River. This Chenab River then moves towards the western direction. It passes through Kishtawar, then Raisi, and then it moves towards the southwestern direction and enters Pakistan, and it basically merges with Jhelum at Trimu, a place known as Trimu. It merges with Jhelum over there. So this is which we known as the Chenab River. Clear? Other are light. What we are talking about is we have darkened it. The Chenab River. Let's move to the next. Next river an important consideration for us is Ravi now. Now see very categorically. See, Ravi. See, the Ravi river is 725 kilometers. Again, it rises from the Rohtang Pass. Please understand, Rohtang Pass in Kullu. Now, please see over here. It rises from the Rohtang Pass, move towards the western direction, again finally enters Pakistan, and then later on merges with the river. Now, this is what Ravi. This is what Ravi. Originating from what? The Rohtang Pass. Originating from what? The Rohtang Pass. Clear? Originating from Rohtang Pass. Now let's move ahead. Finally, important rivers, two more important rivers, Satluj and Beas. Now see over here. If you see the river Satluj, now please understand it is 1050 kilometers antecedent, and again it is known as Langecham Khamban in Tibet. Now see over here very well. This is the Satluj river. It originates from the Rakshasthal lake. Rakshasthal lake also we say lake. It moves to the Shiplika Pass in the Himachal Pradesh region, move towards the southwestern region. Then it comes across Govind Sagar. Then it further moves. And at the region of Harike, it merges with Beas river. Right? It merges with Beas river. Obviously, this Satluj river is moving like this. Right? Now, the region where Beas is merging is known as Harike. Harike. Now, which is Beas? See over here. Beas is this particular river. It originates from again Rohtang Pass. Now see, I'm marking it. This is Satluj. This particular river is Beas. Other things are lightened, so you don't need to focus on that. Originates from the Rakshasthal lake, passes through the Shiplika Pass from Himachal Pradesh, moves in the south western direction, passes through the Govind Sagar, then merges with Beas at Harike, and Beas had originated from the Rohtang Pass, right? Region near Rohtang Pass. And we very well know, please understand that Beas is 465 kilometers, right? Clear? Now it merges at Harike. Now it later on moves and then finally merges with the main river. Clear? Now this is your Indus river system. Let's move to the last system, that is the Brahmaputra river system, right? Please see, first step that we do is make the map. We very well know this is India, this is Bangladesh, Northeastern India, Bhutan and Nepal. Clear? Let's move ahead. Now see over here. If I talk about the Brahmaputra river, please understand one thing very categorically. There's a big mistake in the minds of the students that the moment the river, this so-called Yarling, Zanglo, Tisangpo enters India, it is known as Brahmaputra. No, that is wrong. See over here. This particular glacier over here is known as Che Myangdung Glacier in Tibet. From this particular glacier, moving across thousands of kilometers across Tibet, over here this river is known as Yarlung Zanglo or Tisangpo. Just before Namcha Barwa, it basically turns towards India. Please note this very carefully. When the Tisangpo enters India, it is not called Brahmaputra. It is known by the name of Siang or Dihang. What it is called? It is known as Siang, or another name is Dihang. Siang or Dihang. This is the name of the Tsangpo river when it enters India. Now, when the Siang or the Dihang river moves in India, it is merged by two more rivers. Two more rivers. One river is Lohit, other is Dibang. One river is Lohit and other is Dibang. When these three rivers merge, henceforth, the river is known as Brahmaputra. Hence, the river is known as Brahmaputra. Please understand this very carefully. It might be a question that is asked when Tsangpo enters India, what it is called. First option would be Brahmaputra, second would be Lohit, third would be Dibang, next would be Siang. 99.9% will mark Brahmaputra. No, it enters as Siang or Dihang, then it merges with these two rivers, and then it is known as Brahmaputra. This is a very big technicality that most of the people get it wrong. Clear? So let's move ahead. You must have noted down the major course or major path of the Brahmaputra river, right? We will be seeing other dimensions. Now let us move on to the next part, that is the tributaries associated with it. Now see here, very, very important. When we saw over here Siang and Dihang, Lohit, we saw Brahmaputra river is formed, right? Now if you move ahead, we will be realizing that, let us see, just mark it first of all. Okay. Now see over here. When we move down, a very important tributary merges from the, because the direction of flow is this, so from the upper side it is merging, that is a right bank tributary. So the very important right bank tributary is Subhanasiri. S-U-B-A-N-S-I-R-I. Subhanasiri. Clear? As you move ahead, then there is another left bank tributary. You can be asked, the list of the tributaries can be given which are right bank or left bank. They can ask you. You should be very clear. So what is there? This is the another tributary, Dhan Siri. Dhan Siri. Please note it down. Dhan Siri. I am highlighting it so that it is clear to you. Clear? As you move further down, there is one more tributary again merging from the left side. It is known as Kapili. K-A-P-I-L-I. Kapili. Now please understand, when you move ahead, there is another important river merging from the right side. It is known as Manas. M-A-N-A-S. Manas. When you move further, you realize there is another important tributary that merges with Brahmaputra. This river is known as Sankosh. Sankosh also, whatever you want to write. Next to this river is Raidak. How question can be asked here? Please understand this. I'll tell you in 2 minutes. Another river that is emerging from the Sikkim Himalayas is over here, that merges with Brahmaputra, is your Tista. Tista. Now see over here how questions are asked. They will list you or give you a list of certain rivers, and they'll ask you which among the following rivers originate from the Bhutan Himalayas which merge with Brahmaputra. Now the most of the problem that will arise is Manas, then Sankosh and Raidak. These are the three rivers which are merging with Brahmaputra arising from the Bhutan region. But many will mark Tista also as there, and many who do not remember the names, they will definitely mark it wrong. So you should be knowing this is emerging from the Bhutan region. Clear? Next, please understand this. This is the Ganga river which we had studied coming into Bangladesh. So we already know that Ganga river, we had studied the system. This is the Ganga river that is merging. Now please understand one more thing. a very important river arising from the northeastern region is a Barak River. It basically enters Bangladesh and later on merges here. So I'll be just telling you now, this is where the problem lies, which most of the students get it wrong. Please understand, this is the most important part. See here. When the Brahmaputra River merges with the Ganga River, it is known as Padma. Again, understand, Ganga plus let us say Ganga plus Brahmaputra is equal to Padma, right? See here, this particular portion is known as Padma. Why? Because over here Brahmaputra has merged with Ganga and this particular region is known as what? Padma. Now please understand one more thing. Barak River, which basically came and merged with Brahmaputra, or rather to be more precise, Padma. After the Barak River merges with Padma, it is known as Meghna. See this point? Ganga and Brahmaputra merged, this is known as Padma. Padma and Barak River merged, this is known as Meghna. This can be again asked in your papers. So what it is here? Second thing that comes is Padma plus Barak is equal to Meghna. Clear everybody? This is the most important. Ganga plus Brahmaputra is Padma, and Padma plus Barak merging. And please understand, where does it merge? Please understand, there are 2 points also. Let me make it clear. The place where Ganga is merging with Brahmaputra, it is known as Golundo. And the place where Padma is merging with Barak is known as Chandapur. It is a place, right? And thereby known as Meghna. So my friends, we have done all the river systems. We have done all the soil, vegetation, physiographic divisions, and hopefully you all enjoyed it. See, we'll be coming with such types of lectures covering all the topics of geography and all. See, I've tried my best to make the use just of the diagrams, maps that are made by hand. I did not use any ready-made Google photograph and all. Why? Please understand this. Because when you as candidates are preparing for the civil services examination, it is required for you to be able to make these diagrams on your own or maps on your own. Why? Because when you write your answers in the mains, if you're using these maps, or if the questions come in the prelims, you should be very well versed with the geography. Please understand, this Indian geography part, physical geography part, obviously there are conceptual things also, but if you realize Indian physical environment book you pick up, if you have read this, most of the topics are already covered here. This is why I'm telling you, if you study geography in this manner, it becomes very easy. Just by doing this, you realize, you pick up the book, you'll see most of the topics are covered. So please remember, we'll be coming with such stuff. If you liked it, please do comment in the section below and tell us how did you like it, how you felt. You want more such types of lectures. If you want more description, we can go along with this and explain you more also. But what is required here for your prelims is what is mentioned. Please remember one thing. This is not only for the students who are preparing or giving this examination in 2025 prelims, but also for all those people who are going to give their papers in, let us say, 26, 27, 28, 20, and whatever year. Because these are the basics that form the core of the Indian physical geography. So I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will enjoy the journey further also. Enjoy this course of study of gaining knowledge and enjoy this world of geography. And I'm going to be there as a person who will be mentoring you with respect to geography. And God bless you. Take care. And as you always say at the end, Jai Hind.